So here's something entirely different from what we've dealt with for the past few weeks. And today we're going to set a milestone as we're doing our very first webcomic on the show. So before I begin, I want to say something that kind of sets standard for when I do stuff like this. I have to say I'm a big fan of webcomics, and of course you're going to get a few more of these, but it's all about consistency when it comes to this stuff for me. So don't expect for it to be super rapid. We get a whole month of webcomics. Let's say super find some really good long webcomics right quick. But, be prepared for more webcomics in the future. Anyway, so about this series in particular, as you can guess from the title, it's a series about a very simple premise. After the events of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, particularly Omega Ruby, our main character, who I can assume is named Ruby or Brandon, starts dating a Magma Grunt who goes unnamed, and the plot falls to as they go off and do their couple stuff together. The standard having an argument with each other, romantic gestures, jealous of another girl kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a pretty fluffy manga, or webcomic in this case. Anyhow, despite there being plenty of depth and nuance that can be drawn from this scenario, such as issues with the main former antagonist, age differences, all that kind of stuff, this series doesn't go into it at all. Instead, it just chooses to focus on as I stated earlier, simple fluff of the premise. However, this fluff is still quite enjoyable, with the goings on of the duo going over various little mini arcs, which I say earlier go over the various stuff of argument with each other, jealous of another girl, blah 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 kind of stuff. But it's still enjoyable to see it and read it, well, what we have here. Anyway, this is quite possibly the simplest of the works I've gone over this month, and there's not much else to say about this aside from it's a good, cute series, as well as some behind the scenes stuff. Now, this series is drawn by an artist going by the Twitter name Guberman. I don't know if they know about anything else on other sites, I just know about Twitter. And currently, it's on the middle of a long hiatus since mid 2015, so almost a year now. Now, the creator, being South Korean, has to fulfill his 2 years mandatory military service. And while he stated before he tried to continue as enough the series as ever possible, he hasn't done it in almost a year. So who knows when the series will continue or if it ever will. Although I honestly hope and believe it will continue on in the future. The ultimate problem with recommending fan work like this is basically the consistency. At any moment, it could be dropped, disappear, or just be gone forever. It's just up to fan demand. I've known that people who've written Pokemon fan fictions who've ultimately, out of the ultimate despair of the Kalos League, how that went, decided to never write about Pokemon again, considering the fact that the Ash will never win. It just hit them. So, just a case like that? I don't think so. So, that's why I recommend this one. Even if it never continues, even with what we have now, I say it's worth picking up and reading. Well, not picking up because you read it online, but you get what I mean. So, I guess that'll close the door on this month and put it into a little special marathon for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. We're obviously going to talk a bit more about Pokemon before the year is out with Pokemon Sun and Moon and various other things, but as for now, we're done with Pokemon. So, I guess I'll see you all next time as we get back to business as usual with probably a book or something I haven't picked yet. And again, sorry for sounding weird, I still have that cold.